Hi, I'm Craig, English film nerd living in England, and I'm really excited for my special to roll around in a couple of months. I think it'll be my turn to pick a special again, and I've thought about it a lot, and I think I'm going to go with we all pick a cool movie that we like, except Tyler, who has to pick one of the last remaining Wes Anderson films we have yet to cover. I'm being really specific with my themes now. I'm not gonna let Tyler fuck me anymore. No. No, Tyler.
That is, I'm just gonna say it now. That is the best theme anyone has ever floated when we discuss these things. I
Or
love
it'll be whatever I want the theme to be, except Tyler. You know?
it.
And
Yeah,
I'll make him I'll make him pick. I'll make him choose a Wes Anderson film. I'll make him choose his own torture. Be beautiful.
all right. I'm Dave Gray, and this week I learned that. Oh, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I will tell you how long before that beautiful moment happens. Let's we'll search. No, I'll do it while I'm not just creating dead air. I learned that soon Tyler will pick the instrument of his own destruction, and this is Raiders of the Podcast. Yeah,
Woo! Real quiet one this week.
yeah, it's gonna be a little low key. Okay,
Yeah.
actually, uh, so this month it's a guest pick. We're having John come on. John's got an awesome setup of low budget films for us, and then
Micro
it's gonna be
budget.
micro budget, and then Kevin, and then you. Wait,
Yay.
October's in there. I don't know what we're doing for October. We
Oh, we
usually
gotta
do
do something
something special
Halloweeny
for
for
October. Yeah, we
October.
always do something Halloweeny for October.
Maybe
But
something
yeah, I guess
specifically
he'll be November
Halloween
then.
based.
Yeah, yeah,
Something set on Halloween, but not Halloween film, because that's too
yeah.
obvious.
That'd be good. We haven't covered Satan's Little Helper, and I feel like we need to. That would be a good one. Anyway,
Yeah.
this week I didn't watch a lot, but I am taking my niece to a con for cosplayers, and she decided she wanted to be Junji Ito's forever victim monster Tomie. So we watched some Tomie. I watched Tomie Forbidden Fruit, which is actually my favorite one of those movies. It is directed by Shun Nakahara, who cut his teeth making Pinku films. Lots and lots of Pinku films about lesbians. And guess what Tomie Forbidden Fruit is about? Lesbians.
Dead
And
lesbians.
yes, well, no, actually living lesbians. So,
Oh, okay.
yay for that. Tomie H is a nerdy bullied teen who writes lesbian vampire stories where she self-inserts as Anne Bathory when she meets Tomie K, the unkillable victim monster, and they become as codependent as only teenage girls can be. There's a lot of I don't think undertone is the right word, although folks love to say it when it comes to gay themes in movies because it is like undertone is not explicit, and this is explicit with a big
Yeah.
billboard. And Tomie H and her daddy bond over their love of Tomie K and the fact that they'll probably kill her eventually. It's one of the best Tomie movies. I I think the whole cast is pretty good. Nozomi Ando isn't my favorite Tomie in the series, but she's fine, and it's one of the few that really understands the manipulation and the emotional abuse that Tomie brings. So I quite like it. We also watched Tomie Beginning, which is a prequel. It's in the middle of the series, but it is made by the same director as the original film in the franchise, Ataru Okiawa. So sorry that I butchered that. With Ryo Matsumoto as Tomie A, and she is so pretty. She is so pretty. She
Is
might
she
be the
dead?
she is not dead. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay,
she
is this
does.
not a ghost film? I haven't seen any of the
I
Tommy
mean,
films.
she does die. She's Tomie.
Okay.
Tomie dies and comes back
Okay.
and dies and comes back. And we should. I think we've covered one or two of them, but we'll do more eventually. Beginning is a
Okay.
terrible movie. It just like it really it's the closest to the original Junji Ito story, but it kind of bungles it all at every possible step with some absolutely atrocious effects. Uh, but like I do respect what they're trying to do. It's just it's a swing and a miss and a swing and a miss and a swing and a miss. But the Tomie in it is very pretty. So that made me, not totally bored, but I wouldn't recommend that one. And because I love Dashiell Hammett's work, and one of his short stories, The House on Turk Street, was adapted in 2002, starring Samuel L. Jackson and Mila Jovovich and Stellan Skarsgård, who are three people I fucking love. So an author I love with three actors I love, and it's called No Good Deal, and it sucks.
Samuel L. Jackson has not done
So
a good.
bad.
So I can say he hasn't done a good film since The Hateful Eight, but I don't really like The Hateful Eight, but he was brilliant in it. But he hasn't. It's been a long time since Samuel L. Jackson's given us anything.
And the thing is, what's really sad is it's directed by Robert Rafelson, who did The Postman Always Rings Twice in 81, Mountains on the Moon in 90. He did The King of Marvin Gardens and Five Easy. Like, he is
Oh shit!
a competent director. I don't know how he went so wrong here. Now, it's probably mostly the screenplay by Steve Baranik, who wrote The Last Seduction, which we did cover with
Yeah.
Linda Fiorentino. Linda is very good in that movie, but it's just not a good adaptation. It's pretty bad. It's not like the worst. It's just not good. It's not well done. The screenplay is kind of awkward. It has some nice little directorial touches, and the cast really does try, but like changing it from the original story, because the original story is one of Hammett's characters was the Continental Op, who's a very overweight detective and very 1924, and moving it from that and putting the weird choices they did where they did, it doesn't gel, it doesn't come together. The screenplay really needed different writers. So, I was a little disappointed because I went for 2 Hammett-inspired films, and only one of them was enjoyable this week, so that made me sad.
Oh,
Yeah. That was
sorry,
me.
boo.
I know, me too.
Hmm. I watched my first ever Yasujiro Ozu film, which was his 1959
Ooh.
comedy Good Morning, and that was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Like, it looks so good. Like, I'd read stuff about Ozu, like, he will not move that camera. You with a gun to his head, he's not going to move that camera. And just watching this film for like 10 minutes, I suddenly I got it. That that still camera. It's just creating all these beautifully framed, like painterly backdrops for, the action to take place in front of. Like the word action being used like really fucking loosely here because it's Ozu, but he creates these absolutely gorgeous backdrops for his films to take place across, and any one of them could just be a painting. It's just really beautiful stuff. I get why he's not really interested in the moves that camera make. He wants to focus. He wants it all in one frame, and yeah, I get that. It's got a great cast. It's got some of the best child performances I've ever seen. They're absolutely wonderful. And the script is so fucking good, man. It's really funny. It's really sweet, but it's really keenly observed, which is another thing I have been told that Ozu is the master of. Just well observed human characters and exploring them, and even with quite a silly you know premise for this one, it is a keenly observed. They are keenly observed characters, and I just found them all really fascinating. And it's just a perfect little slice of life, which I think no one even comes close to Japan when it comes to doing slice of life. They do it so perfectly, and plus there are farts, lots of farts.
There are fart jokes in that one. Yeah.
Yep. So
That's a good
yeah, it was
one.
great.
Yeah, I love Ozu, but yeah, most of his stuff is not all, like an autumn afternoon and late autumn and I think the flavor of green tea over rice are depressing. overall.
Yeah.
But like Ozu is is not always a happy time. They're
Yeah,
always
I feel like
brilliant, but they're not
yeah.
always a happy time.
It sounds like he made a lot of just films about, different generations not connecting and the disappointments of later life, and yeah, they sound quite heavy and daunting. But I'm going to watch a lot more. I've had Tokyo Story in my pile for a million years, and I wasn't here when you covered that on the show, so I'm going to get to that one soon. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed my first Ozu, and I started with a light one.
Nice.
Yeah, that was adorable, and also adorable, and I didn't expect this. Well, I sort of did a little bit. I watched Predator Badlands, which kind of goes past adorable into an area known as it went in. It's precious. I can't think of a better word. It is precious. There are times I looked at this film and thought, "Oh my god, that's so precious." I got tearful a couple of times. It was very strange. I just loved it. I loved it so much. I totally get why it horrified a lot of like long-term fans of the Predator franchise, because it like from the start it outright rejects all of the macho horse shit the series is known for in favor of telling totally different story about toxic masculinity, just toxic relationships in general, and kind of an interesting take on tribalism, this kind of healthy tribalism in found families. And it's just a pretty wild 180 for the franchise. I thought it was going to be kind of cute with a little like odd couple team, but it was way more adorable than I expected. I thought the leads were really good. The physicality of Demetrius Schuster Kolo Amatengi, I'm going with that, deserves way more praise than it's getting. I think Fanning is getting a lot of the acting praise, but he plays the Predator so well. I think because there's a little bit of CGI on the face, and people aren't really noticing. Mainstream audiences maybe aren't noticing that that it is a performance, that there is a human in there, and he is doing great work. I don't know, but I think he's fantastic. Beautiful cinematography, great world building. Like I really, really loved it, and most of all, I'm glad that unlike like say the Evil Dead franchise, which is just being passed around like Tyler at an orgy, it's just that they're just giving it to whoever fancies making an Evil Dead film. For this one, for the Predator series, it's just in the hands of this one person who is clearly passionate about that world, and is someone who wants to take it in new directions, which aren't always going to work for everyone. But he's into it. It's like a passion project. He's 3 films deep, and he seems to just really, really love that world. So I'm excited to see what he's got. I'm hoping there's something new to come from. Is it Dan Trachtenberg?
Yes.
Yes, say yes. Yes, say yes. Did you like Predator Badlands? Not as much as me, of course.
I was muted. Sorry. Yeah, I do enjoy Predator Badlands. I didn't like it as much as you did. I'm just kind of still so burnt out from Predator. I really liked Prey, and I enjoyed Badlands, but it just wasn't as good as Prey, and I think that's the problem. And
I
I
liked it more than
absolutely
Prey.
really,
Yeah,
Prey was actually something different in a different situation, so that's why I went for it. I didn't like Killer of Killers though, so the CGI
I
one.
haven't finished that one yet, so I'll give that another one. I've got to finish it, but I just like the person in charge. They've got one person in charge at the helm, and he's into it. They're not just We're not doing the Hellraiser sequel thing of just grabbing anyone who wants to direct a horror film and say, "Look, do an Evil Dead film, please. We need the money." Uh,
I think he's in talks to do Friday the 13th at some point.
oh, okay, okay.
So I don't know what's going to happen with Predator when he jumps over, but he's also
I,
involved in a Waterworld TV series. I don't know where that's going currently, but yeah.
okay, I could be up for that as well because Waterworld is not a bad idea on paper. It's just wet Mad Max, and
Yeah, which is
yeah,
a fine idea.
and I doubt they'll be getting Costner back, so that's
No,
another point in its favour.
yay. Yeah, I mean,
Yay.
so I'm curious to see what he does going forward because I liked he's the same guy that did 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was my favorite Cloverfield movie by a
Yes.
huge margin.
Yeah, that was really good as well. He's got a good energy to him, you know. He's not he's not resting on his laurels. So I appreciate the guy, and I'm interested in whatever's coming next with him. One more for this week. I let myself down. I let you down, Dave. I told you about this. Actually, we spoke about it briefly. I rewatched 2019's Legacy Flush, Rambo: Last Blood, and it
We
is
did.
awful. It
It
is
is.
awful. It's it's like Stallone saw Taken, and he was like, "That's not xenophobia. This is xenophobia. Check this out," and just went 100 times harder than Taken, just assuming that all Europeans are rapists. Just it's so lazily racist as well because they make sure from the very beginning to just surround Stallone with good Mexicans. I was doing the quotation marks and good Mexicans. So it can excuse him butchering about 100 bad Mexicans in the film's climax. And the thing is, like, if you can take that aspect away, the climax kind of rules. It's just 20 minutes of Rambo butchering dozens at a time with just homemade booby traps. And every time he gets someone caught in one of his homemade booby traps, he has to messily shoot them in the head afterwards. Even if they're very, very clearly dead, he still headshots them. And it's so violent and so insane. And it's just a shame that it's also racist garbage closing a racist movie. But just in terms of like cartoonish carnage, like third act, it's 20 minutes of really, really good fun and everything that I want from a Rambo film, just prefaced by so much racism and including a certain amount of racism in itself. And I just don't watch it. I enjoyed it, but if you hear me and you're like, oh, I want to see this carnage, download the torrent of Rambo Last Blood and fast forward 70 minutes and then just watch that because you don't need to see anything that happens before it. Like within the first 10 minutes, like Rambo's Hispanic Latino niece says, I'm going to go to Mexico. And he pulls his face of like horror and disgust. He goes, why would you do that? It's like, she's fucking Mexican, man. She wants to go to Mexico. Get a grip of yourself. It's a very racist film from someone who is probably quite a deeply racist man. It turns out. So don't.
What's what's ridiculous is the first Blood author, David Morrell and Stallone spent years developing a totally different Rambo 5, and then the producers went, "Nah, let's just embrace your racism, Sly." And Sly went, "Fuck yeah." Of course, I believe Sly was a producer, so he was part of it. The one's going, "No, let's do this one instead." So,
If he had made Rocky Balboa and then Rambo 4 and then gone away forever, that would have been like the best ever like legacy closing argument. Just like, okay, this is what I'm leaving behind. We'd be
oh,
we'd be talking about how great Sylvester Stallone is and not how much of a sad sack of shit he is.
yeah, we would be, but here we are.
Sly's got a sly. But that's me for the week. Oh, but actually, I did watch Juice. I watched all 3 seasons, and I really liked it. I really liked all of it. Mostly for the cast. Third season though, man, is fucking brutal. Like taking place during the AIDS epidemic just makes for a very very depressing 8 episodes of people dying. But
Yeah,
it's a good show.
yeah.
It's
The
nowhere
Juice,
near The Wire, but it's good.
it's no wires, no trim A, it's no the corner, it's no homicide, which is not a bad thing. Those are just all brilliant. So
I appreciated how anti-porn it was, though, because everyone wants to be very sex positive, almost to the point of maybe going too far with it. And David Simon was very much to know, like, once porn exploded, it became detrimental to society, and it's also very like what's it called, where you come in and clean up neighbourhoods and then change them beyond all
Gentrification.
recognition. It's also very anti-gentrification, but it's strongly anti-porn as well, which surprised me.
It's a good one. David Simon's usually dependable. This week, we watched the 1936 American comedy mystery film from W.S. Van Dyke, After the Thin Man, and the 1973 American neo-noir crime film from John Flynn, The Outfit. Hey, Craig.
Yes.
Would you like to pick a movie and tell us about it?
Sure. I'm going to pick Dave's selection, which is After the Thin Man.
Ooh.
Okay, and just as I quickly load up the IMDb synopsis, because I always forget to do a synopsis. You might have to do a little bit better, Dave. Private Detective Nick Charles and his wealthy wife Nora are back home at last and hoping for a quiet new year when there is a murder. And the obvious suspect is his wife, Nora's cousin, Selma. This is my first time watching any Thin Man films, any of the Nick and Nora series. I had kind of a good idea what to expect due to the kind of gradual cultural osmosis of Dave going on and on about them all the time. Just all the time. Just at one time I found him like at the foot of my bed whispering, "Skippy the dog actor bit Myrna Loy during filming."
Myrna Loy is worth that. I'm just saying. The great tragedy of my life was never finding my own Myrna Loy, but that's me.
I would tell you and Nick and Nora to get a room, but I feel like you'd like that. You'd like the room with those guys.
I would absolutely adore that room,
even if I just used you as a big pillow.
That would be my preference.
This is the first Thin Man for me. No pressure. I don't feel any pressure from Dave. He never makes us feel pressure. How do I put this right? I loved Nick and Nora. I liked After the Thin Man. There was like every second that William Powell and Myrna Loy share the screen is nothing short of like magic. Absolutely miraculous chemistry. And part of it is the writing. Like it never falls into that, that rapid fire setup, punchline setup, almost kind of vaudeville type of rhythm that comedies had around this time. That can become a little wearing, but this gives the performers plenty of room to they can deliver their dialogue kind of organically, so it actually feels like two people having a conversation. I think my favourite line was, "Did he just call me a pot?" Which really made me laugh. But I like that the dialogue felt really organic in a way that lots of comedies from this era it doesn't so much. But the writing's a small part of it. Most of it is just Powell and Loy connecting as performers like no one else I can think of, ever. And you need that. You need that so bad with this. It's a very specific kind of humour. It's relationship, kind of husband and wife humour. It's a very specific thing. It needs to be light and it needs to be playful. And the chemistry has to be there, because otherwise you're just being mean to your spouse, which is no fun. Like Stephanie makes herself laugh sometimes by being so mean to me. She'll say something so vicious to me that it cracks her up, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I kind of get the husband wife sparring humor. I really like it. So Powell and Loy are magical creatures. Absolutely no doubt about that. I wouldn't even begin to argue with that. So I don't get why they don't share the screen more in this film. I don't understand. If you perfect alchemy, don't take frequent breaks to paint the shelves that you're going to store all of your gold on later on. Keep making the gold. If you can make gold, keep making gold. And I don't feel this film really does that. I feel like they spend way too much time apart. And or off screen. Like, I get that some of it is obviously studio mandated, like the musical numbers. I didn't dislike them, and they were slotted into the film like nice and organically, but they didn't really work for me. It felt like they were taking up room. And then you've got stuff like Asta's like little canine infidelity subplot, which I would have actually been totally into, but it didn't really have any conclusion. So instead, it just feels like silly filler in a film that doesn't need any filler. It just needs Nick and Nora in the room together. Uh, and like even when it's dealing with the main plot line, Nick keeps going it alone, and the further along the film gets, the more his interactions with Nora dwindle, and we're stuck listening to that one awful dude shouting "Fooey" all the time, who I truly hated. It didn't take advantage of that chemistry fully, and plus, the central plot line kind of sucks. Like, the victim of this murder probably still had a faint pulse by the time I had correctly guessed who the killer was. Like, there's no mystery there, and the reveal of the killer features some really incredible acting from the person playing the killer. Their reaction to being discovered was chilling and kind of fucked up. But also, I've been rolling my eyes at every red herring for the last 90 minutes or so. So it's a mystery of no mystery is going to drag, and factoring in the musical numbers and like a couple of other distractions, this film did drag anytime Nick and Nora were not on screen together. That's the magic. What what makes it work. And I mean, other than that, it's a handsome looking film, and I love the costume design. Like Nora's outfits are fucking magnificent. Supporting cast pretty good, excluding Fooey guy who I really hated. That James Stewart guy, he's probably going to go far. He was good. Um, there's lots to like, but like I said earlier, like if you learn how to make gold, keep making the fucking gold. No distractions. Just why would you learn it? Why would you learn how to make gold and take a break from making the fucking gold? I felt like there was no reason for this to be any less than 90% Powell and Loy together making fucking magic, because they are at the center of the universe, and this film forgets that a little too often, I think. Like, just give me endless fucking Powell and Lloyd together. That's what I want. But this, I'm, I'm watching a story that interests me. I'm watching little moments of distraction or studio mandated bits and bobs, and it's, it's taken away from the magic of Powell and Lloyd on screen together. I had a good time, and I hope that I'll like other. I will watch other uh, Spin Man films, and I hope I like them even more than I liked this one. But I just wanted that more of that one thing, more of that Powell Lloyd magic.
So I picked this because Kevin picked the outfit, and the outfit is a great movie. And I love the Thin Man films, as Craig pointed out. Uh, Powell and Loy are magic on screen in this, and I believe they're in 7 or 8 other movies together. Sometimes folks will ask, and I'll be like, they're in 30 movies together, and I'm obviously speaking hyperbolically, but that annoys some people when I say it. So I believe they're in 13 total in reality. But they're always great together, and they're great together here. I do agree they are separated a bit too much. I think Craig will probably enjoy another Thin Man a bit more, because that's also based on Dashiell Hammett story that was originally at the Continental Op and not Nick and Nora.
Okay.
But we'll get to it eventually. Yeah, I really picked this because I love them. I really enjoy this one so much more than Craig did, because it does a lot of things right. It's decently shot and edited, especially for the time period. This is right at the start of the the Hays Code really coming in to be enforced. The first movie is actually pre-code, and that is the best one. It will be your favorite
Okay.
because it is the best one. But I really enjoy it. The supporting cast is great. Jimmy Stewart shows up as David Graham. He's excellent. George Zucco, who was he was in like 100 movies, I think, uh, from like the 20s to the 50s. Almost always a villain or a mad scientist.
Oh yeah, he was
Is
creepy.
good.
That was a creepy
Yeah,
dude.
pops up as he's the doctor.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree that the sidekick cop is atrocious, absolutely atrocious. But small character. He's only in 4 movies. He died in 1940. Is the Asian partner in the club is really good in his little bit. William Law plays Lum Key. I knew I'd remember it eventually. He's always good. He's also in The Good Earth, where he gives a strong performance. Um, although again, tragically passed away before he could do too much. Joseph Kalia is in it very shortly as dancer. He's really good. I do feel that the ant is a bit atrocious. And Alan Marshall is always really good as the victim. Alan Marshall was another one of those actors that was in like just a bajillion things.
I also enjoyed the butler,
Yeah.
Myrna's. Is it Myrna? That guy. Oh, yeah, Myrna
Yes.
Loy.
Yeah, Myrna Loy.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
her family's butler. He was very good.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that the stuff with the dog doesn't work. That dog is adorable though. So,
I mean, I love the stuff with the dog. I love it when the dog runs off with the clue. I wanted a conclusion to that little like this kind of like dog affair subplot. I wanted it, but because it wasn't there, it felt like just kind of spare parts. If you know what I mean.
this story was actually the story itself, not the screenplay, was written by Hammett. Screenplay is by Albert Hack and Francis Goodrich, who worked together for a long, long time. They also wrote the original Father of the Bride. They wrote the first 3 Thin Man. They wrote It's a Wonderful Life. They wrote Easter Parade, and they did the stage version of The Diary of Anne Frank. Everybody connected to this are at the time top tier, and I do absolutely adore it. I would just like ramble on gushing. I think it's a better mystery than Craig does. Yes, it is obvious as fuck, but it is also a 1936 mystery. They're all going to be obvious as fuck by this point if it's got any kind of staying power. It's the problem with, like, I love Dashiell Hammett. I think Dashiell Hammett is one of the best mystery authors of all time. Sam Spade, Nick and Nora, The Continental Op are the top tier of detective fiction or all mystery fiction.
I
But
mean, I will say, like once it's been revealed, the actor who is revealed to be the guilty party gives a really great performance, and
yep.
it does reveal extra depths to what he did and how he did it and why he did it. What I really liked, I just knew
You
instantly
just
was
well,
the
yeah, and
issue.
it's hard not to know instantly because of how they they do it. Like, it's one of those ones
Yeah,
that's like, how is anyone surprised by this? But apparently a lot of people are. But yeah, it's a great screenplay with some great performances. I do disagree. I absolutely hate the songs in this. Uh, that woman should not be singing for 100 years in any movie. It's 90 years, actually 90 years this year. That's how long she's had those terrible songs in the world. And that's just wrong. The butler, by the way, is played by Tom Ricketts. I knew I'd remember it if I just talked. He was the first
okay.
Ebenezer Scrooge in an
Oh,
American film adaptation in 1908 of A Christmas Carol. Just a fun little bit of trivia. Yeah,
yeah.
I adore After the Thin Man. I don't have much to say about it, except what I've already said, which is I adore it. I love it. I think everybody involved is great, and it's a classic that should be watched. And you should read Dashiell Hammett. But again, the problem is they are so redone. It's the same problem you have with Agatha Christie. You can't watch Agatha Christie and not know what's going to happen because everyone has ripped it off. And then when they
Yeah.
try to change it, they do it really poorly 99% of the time. So it's a rock and a hard place thing, but I get it. But speaking of great uh, mystery and fiction authors, The Outfit is based on a book by Donald E. Westlake, which is the pseudonym of Richard Stark, who was just had such an output of works. It's crazy. It's actually the third book in the Parker series. We started with The Hunter, which that was adapted into Payback and Point Blank, and like I think it's been made 3 or 4 other times. I just can't think of off the top of my head. Play Dirty, just last year, the Shane Black movie was based on it roughly. This time Parker, who's never called Parker in almost any adaptions until recently, because Stark hated the name because he was terrified one day he'd have to write the phrase "Parker parked the car," which seems like that's what he said. I feel like that's an easy thing to avoid, but that's you do you, buddy. In this time, Parker is played by Robert Duvall, and he's joined by Karen Black and Joe Don Baker. After a pair of hitmen fail to kill Parker, his girlfriend Brett, and his former accomplice in a robbery go on the offensive, hitting back at the operation. The operation is the big bad in a lot of the Parker books. In this one, Parker is called Earl Macklin, which is a weird name. And apparently, Duvall was the favorite actor for Parker. Walter Hill actually has an
But he looks more like a
uncredited.
Macklin.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Walter Hill has an uncredited rewrites on the screenplay. If you ever wonder, this is a really solid screenplay, it's because Walter Hill helped out. It's directed
Love
by
Walter
John
Hill.
Flynn, and John Flynn did a lot of good stuff. He did Rolling Thunder and Bestseller, Locked Up, and I think his last movie was Steven Spielberg's Out for Justice, which they can't all
Steven
be
Seagal's, not Steven
Seagal. You're
Spielberg's.
right. Oh my God! Well, I can't believe I said that. My brain, man, it is. I'm sorry. I cannot. That I say
Hey, it's in
dumb
the
things.
top
That
3
was
of
the
Seagal's
worst.
films, so.
Oh, actually, no. You know what? I think his last movie was Protection. That Stephen Baldwin, Peter Gallagher movie. Yeah, but he also did Brain Scan. I like Brain Scan. That's a terrible but also wonderful sci-fi film. Anyway, The Outfit is excellent. Duvall is fantastic. He is the best film Parker by like a big margin. Don't get me wrong. I like Payback and I really like Point Blank, but he just gets it perfectly. Joe Don Baker is really good as his partner Cody. Karen Black, might be one of my favorite Karen Black performances by a good stretch. She's really good here. She gives it a lot of personality and life. It's a good one. Anita Day shows up. Anita O'Day, the jazz singer, shows up as herself fairly early on, which is a fun little scene since both films had a musical number. Yeah, I was a big fan of this one. I hadn't seen it before. It's one that's long been in my pile because I like the Parker novels and I like most of the adaptions. Underline, underline, underline. There's some I don't really want to talk about.
All bad.
Fucking Marky Mark.
Ugh.
But this is this is came out the same year as Friends of Eddie Coyle, and it is so good. It holds its own. Uh, Quentin Tarantino actually wrote a chapter on this in his 2022 book Cinema Speculation, which I haven't read. I just know because when I was looking for it, all these folks were like, "Oh, I hadn't heard of it until Tarantino mentioned it." It's like, well, yeah, you should have before because it's really good. It's really good. The action is tight. The heists when they do them are really like there's some of the best of this kind of heist done. I mean, they're not the deep plotting ones, but there's tension, there's action, they flow well. The gunshots have repercussions when things happen. Yeah, it's a good one. I was a big fan of this.
Yeah, I knew Nick and Nora were in trouble when Kevin picked this, partly because well, Powell and Lloyd couldn't come close to the wild sexual chemistry that Robert Duvall and Joe Don Baker have in this film. It's pretty intense, but mostly this is just my shit. This is so my shit that I won't be nearly as objective as I should be. It's just my shit. It has so much that I like about films from the 70s. It has a texture to it. Like the celluloid pops. Like I watched it in bed, but I feel like I'm watching a movie in like some rundown 42nd Street cinema that I've never seen, let alone sat in. It just it gives me a certain feeling. Like it's objectively that's not something that this film is trying to pull off, but it does feed into my subjective enjoyment of it. Like it feels like cinema, and I only half know what I mean there, but I mean it. I'm gonna shock you now, Dave. You sitting down, Dave? Ready to be shocked?
I'm ready. Bring it. Lay it on me.
Okay, I've not read any of the Parker novels.
Oh my god! Yeah,
No.
I didn't ask. I didn't ask because I knew the fucking answer. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Okay.
when I ask, I don't know the answer, but this time I knew the answer.
Yeah. I shouldn't. So one day I should tell you the 3 books that I've read, and then you can note them
You
down,
should,
and you
and then
you
I'll
never have to
know.
ask.
Yeah. If there's a film adaptation, I will actually pick it just so you can say yes.
Yay. What I have pieced together from the movie adaptations, like Robert Duvall is the most perfect fucking casting for this character. Like I feel like Parker shares quite a lot of qualities with Tom Hagen in the Godfather films. Like he's calm and controlled and contained. Like even if he's in a murderous fucking rage, he is super fucking calm. Like I think the Godfather probably. I think someone must have seen Duvall in the Godfather and thought, okay, that's the guy to play Parker because he just has that controlled way about him that just works perfectly for this part. I love Joe Don Baker in this. He is a deeply, deeply one-note actor. I I don't think that's really arguable. He can play this one note, but if that note is, just a good old boy who will do the most unethical and amoral shit with you because you bought him a beer once upon a time, then Joe Don Baker is the gold standard. Like he's so good, and his chemistry with Duvall is fucking fantastic. Um, Karen Black is wonderful. I think she is underutilized. Like my biggest issue with the film is that the relationship between her and Duvall does not get enough focus because they share 2 really excellent fucking scenes in the third act. They have the best character stuff in this movie. They are really, really strong scenes that tell you a whole bunch about their relationship and about who Parker is and how he operates. And more of that would have been very welcome. Timothy Carey, he plays a good skin crawlingly foul ghoul. Like as per usual, like no one plays a ghoulish man better than Timothy Carey. Robert Ryan is so fucking good. He manages to pull off a heel turn when he's already the film's main antagonist. Antagonist. You're like, oh, this is the bad guy, and then there's a heel turn. Where it's like, oh no, this is the bad guy. This is the bad guy. He's so fucking good. And you also get Alicia Cook Jr., who is only in it for about 10, 15 fucking seconds. He was that guy actor of the 50s, the 60s, even like the 70s. So just to see him pop up for like 15 seconds, he just kind of lends a little bit of authenticity to any film he's in. I love Alicia Cook Jr. He was the William Sanderson of the previous 3 decades. and yeah, I love him. Killer cinematography from Bruce Surtees. He did cinematography for Dirty Harry, Night Moves, which we covered here, which is a fantastic looking film. The Outlaw Josie Wales. He's just a great cinematographer. It gives the whole film just grimy, squalid, like sun bleached aesthetic of part 70s western, even like part Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It just all looks very, very squalid and foul, which I loved. Fantastic score from long-time Peckinpah collaborator Jerry Fielding. He, I love the way the music works during the heist scenes. It gives everything this kind of nervy energy. It's kind of bombastic but nervy, and it's just a really, really fucking great soundtrack. I messaged Dave during the week to say, why do people not make soundtracks like this anymore? And he reminded me that just people aren't as good as they used to be.
They just aren't as good as they used to be. Yeah,
that's just kind of it. It's great. I think this is a weird thing to think it. I feel like it could have used a montage or two throughout the film to for the heist scenes, play out a couple in full. Maybe have a couple of heists to keep the momentum going when needed. Sorry, a couple of montages to keep the momentum going in a couple of places. But otherwise, I really like John Flynn, and the reason I like him is he knew how to make a mean fucking picture, like a mean fucking movie, like this, Rolling Thunder, Out for Justice. He knew how to make these mean fucking movies, and he knew who to put behind the camera and in front of the camera to make it all fucking sing. Like, I think he's an underrated director, to be honest. He made a bunch of underappreciated movies, with this one coming in maybe just a tiny fraction below Rolling Thunder for me, which I absolutely love. But yeah, this is just a perfectly mean, foul little crime picture with a fucking great performance from Robert Duvall. In fact, I remember watching this and thinking Robert Duvall died, and I had forgotten about it because it made such a small impact compared to other actors who died. But in a way, it just seems so Robert Duvall. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't a huge fuss made because
yeah.
he just wasn't the sort of actor who demanded a big fuss of him and the work he did. It seems so. Yeah, I love Robert Duvall, and it's one of my favourite performances of his, along with Tom Hagen.
Good one. I will, going back to the books real quick.
Yeah.
The way the books are done is really good. So they're usually divided into four parts, right?
Yeah.
And the first two are third person, entirely focused on Parker, right?
Yeah.
He plans his robbery or heist with his colleagues, then they do it. And the second section ends on a cliffhanger, right? Parker is betrayed, sometimes left for dead. Section 3 goes to the perspective of his opponents, and it tells you how they set up their stuff in the background.
Okay.
And then the section 4 is, back to Parker and his revenge, and it is so good.
Yeah.
It's a shame the movies never quite get that right, because in the books it really works, and in the earlier ones and in the later ones, they all kind of lead into each other. Like the attack at the hotel in this one that sets everything in motion actually takes place in the book before it, The Man with the Getaway Face at the end.
Oh, okay.
And then them going off on the where they go off at the end of the outfit
In the ambulance, yeah.
leads into the mourner in the next book. So yeah,
I bought several books which I do intend to read. So at the top of the pile is I'm going to finally read The Executioners, because we're covering Cape Fear now, and then I've got under that Jurassic Park, and then under that The Hunter. So I'm going to get to it one day in a few years.
Nice. I would shuffle that order because Jurassic Park is going to stop you dead. Put the hunter on top.
Okay. Okay.
Plan breaks for Jurassic Park with some crime fiction, and you'll be okay.
All right then. Okay.
Like Jurassic Park
Good
is great,
plan.
but it has moments where there's dozens of pages of really dry fake science being discussed
All right
in
then.
depth where you just go, "Oh no."
Yeah,
But
fair
then
enough.
people get eaten by dinosaurs, so it cares.
Yay!
You know, but
Yeah, I'm glad that it's got that bit.
it's time to pick one, and it is the outfit. It's the outfit. I love Nick and Nora. I love After the Thin Man, but the outfit is so good.
Yeah, the outfit for me. Nice one, Kevin.
So, because it's just me and you, we get to pick for next week. Next week, I'm going to pick a movie with no context to anything that's going on in the real world
Not at all.
at all. I'm gonna go with the 2023 American dystopian film, The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to go with. Hurry up, IMDb. Hurry up. Hurry up. God damn it. I don't know when it came out. The 2012 dystopian teen drama, The Hunger Games.
What?
What?
This was
That's
not
crazy.
planned at all.
Not at all.
I can't believe that's happened.
This would have worked
Hmm.
much better if there were like other people to go, but it's just us.
Would have that there would have been yeah. So everybody, if you're listening, pretend you were surprised right there.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Nice.
You can have my special pick as well if you like. while
Oh,
we're here.
let's do it. Let's have it.
Yeah, we're doing micro budget films, anything under $100,000, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, $1,500 is less than $100,000.
It
So we're
is.
going with 1987, I think. The Treasure of the Ninja. Woo.
Oh my. Have you seen that?
No, but I own it on Blu-ray.
Oh, Craig.
It's a treasure. It says so.
Yeah, no, there is a treasure. It doesn't mean that the movie is a treasure.
Well, we're going to find out. Well, I'm going to find out.
One of us will find out. Craig. Fuck. T will die. I do know who you are. I do know the difference between you all, and I am sober at the moment. I think I'm sober. Let me field sobriety test myself. Yeah, I am sober. I'm doing the nose thing. I'm good. Oh, guys.
Well, Tyler deserves some punishment for
He
what he
does.
did, for all the
I
things he's done.
100%. I do agree. And for what
He's a
he's going to
wicked
do in
boy.
the future, he's a bad man. As always, you can find us on Instagram where we're Raiders_of_the_podcast. You can find us on our blog spot, Blue Sky, YouTube, and Facebook as just Raiders of the Podcast. And you can find us anywhere you get your pods. Like, subscribe, rate us if you feel like it. If you really need to get a hold of us and want to inflict damage, you can email any suggestions or comments to us at raidersofthepod@gmail.com. We will do whatever you ask us to. We are that desperate for your approval. And we have, and we've cried many times over many years for the things you've done to us. We still love you, though. As always,
Woo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you next week.
Catch you next week.